About to go.
Yeah, so you guys texted me at like noon on our way. You show up at 1. So can you tell me about the museum you guys stopped at?
The museum.
There was a lot of water, and James left his car.
Oh. No, speaking of which, no. Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image and style you're used to.
Okay.
It's not even funny.
Listen, don't fuck up my beginning here. I'm the tail end here. Let me do what I do. Doors of 7, kitchen of 9. We've been fucking up on our celebrity death pool here because we have yet another death. Shaq G, a.k.a. Humpty Hump, just passed away yesterday.
Now, you would know more about the situation of his death than I did.
Nobody knows about the situation of his death. Dead in a hotel room, but the last interview he looked pretty fucking wrecked on some kind of substances, so we're going to lean towards that. You know who else almost lost in the celebrity death pool today? Is me on the way here picking Chris up.
He was shook.
I almost got fucking destroyed picking him up today.
By what?
A fucking car on the 290 going 4 lanes across to hit the boulevard exit. No blinker, a truck. Just whipping 80 miles an hour. Luckily I tapped the brakes and fucking just missed getting fucking smashed in the driver's side.
I come outside, he's like outside his car, like breathing and shit.
Yeah, I saw my life flash
Smoking
before my
a
eyes.
cig, handshaking and shit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he was really scared.
I seen him shook.
Yeah. No, I was definitely fucking shook. So, people out there don't drive like fucking assholes. Come on, people got kids and shit and shows to do.
So there's your answer.
Yeah.
There's your answer to why we
Why
took
we were
so
late?
long. He was like, dude, we were like crawling here, man. He was so scared.
Was it not like yelling at traffic too?
Yeah.
Like, stop being a fucking asshole.
He's yelling at people that aren't even doing anything. He's like, stop driving so erratically. I'm like,
Yeah, I almost fucking died. So,
Yeah,
we got start picking some more legends.
I'm telling you right now, and this is based on something that Bob, I think Evan, because you said that he looked a little fucked up in the recently viewed shit of him before he was found dead in his hotel. It was a hotel room he was found dead in?
Yeah.
What's up with all these? Everybody's dying in hotel rooms.
Well, that's where... As somebody who worked in a hotel for almost 3 years, like, that's where the shit goes down, is in hotel rooms.
Yeah, when you're partying like that, you usually end up in a hotel room at some point.
Yeah.
And
I still find a lot of weird shit linked between the 2 big deaths from hotels recently, which is Chris Cornell.
And there's a whole, like, the conspiracy thing where, like, the hanging and, you know, Robert Carradine being found dead the same way, yada yada. But my experience of working in a hotel is, and especially, like, the hotel I worked in was right on the corner of, like, right at the edge of where the hood is. And the basic thing with a hotel is, and this is anywhere, if you live locally, like, you cannot pay cash. You have to pay with a card.
Right.
Because they're going to hit you with the incidental fees when you fuck up. And tax time, you know, everybody gets that little chunk of change. They all want to come in and have fucking parties, especially if you got a swimming pool. And the pool we had wasn't even that fucking great. It was like 4 feet deep. But everybody wanted to party in this pool.
But it was fucking huge, though, right?
It was decent size.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, the amount of shit that goes down, especially when they used to have smoking rooms. Like, just the one day they found fucking crack inside the fucking coffee maker.
Fuck.
And then the other time
like,
they found...
like crack in a bag?
Yeah.
Like
Stuck in the
inside,
coffee maker.
Yeah.
And then I remember another one, like, these ladies were having a fucking party, and they had rented 2 or 3 hotel rooms, and their fucking kids were just being, you know, out of pocket the whole time. To the point where I'm, like, yelling at the kids, like, listen...
James is always yelling at kids. Funerals, work.
Yeah, these kids were acting... And to the point, like, because I let these kids, like, go in the pool after hours, but then they started abusing the privilege, and, like, the parents were just up drinking fucking Hennessy and smoking blunts, leaving their kids, when they're teenagers, like 14, 15, leaving them unsupervised. And I told them, like, all right, I'll give you guys, like, 45 minutes in the pool, but then we're done. Like, you got to get out. And they wanted to be a little pricky about it. So, I went down, I wasn't even yelling, I was giving more like a lecture, like, you guys gotta have respect, blah, blah, blah. The moms come down, fucking...
respect your elder.
Yeah, exactly, it was exactly one of those things, and, like, one mom comes down with her glass of Hennessy in her fucking robe, and she's like, you can't talk to my kids like that. I'm like, I'm just trying to teach these kids a little bit of respect and manners, because obviously no one's at home to do this.
Oh boy, he went there. He went there.
He did go there, so she starts, like, cussing me out, so I'm like, listen, like, I'm here, like, I can kick you the fuck out of this hotel, like, don't fuck with me. Like, I give him some, let you do your thing. You're up there smoking fucking blunts. I know this because I went up to check because I was getting complaints. You offered to let me hit the blunt, but I didn't. I didn't hit the blunt there because I didn't want you to use it against me because I knew I already had some issues with you. So we have a little bit of argument. The kids
he
like
went full false check.
Yo,
I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Into the
You were just
extreme.
letting her see a little bit of
Yeah,
it come
no,
out.
so-
James is the original Karen.
So the kids, like, they're sitting down in the breakfast room. They're having they're like, I'm going and unlocking the fucking cereal so they can have like fucking Fruit Loops and play on their tablets.
It's like he's trying to be like their dad too. It's so cute. He's like, I made him cereal. I made origami with him.
That's what I'm saying. That's
fucking,
why I felt a little
I
disrespected.
watched Trolls.
I felt a little disrespected. So I go back up there late, and then like we make amends or whatever. I have to go back up there because there's another complaint going on. So I'm like knocking on the door, and I'm trying to explain this. Like, listen, I'm getting all these fucking complaints. Your kids are acting fucking crazy. You're pissed at me because I'm like trying to teach your kids some respect here. Teach a little respect, and you're mad at me. The fucking one of the kids was like a 10-year-old girl, and there was like a little newborn baby or some shit, and they're in the two hotel doors are open, just fucking blunt smoke. The
adjoining rooms you're talking, that extra door?
No, they just had their front doors open
right.
so they could go back and forth. The fucking girl, like, throws this fucking little baby on the fucking floor. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, shit gets rowdy when you fucking have hotels. Like, the fucking... like, there's a hockey arena.
Babies hit the floor.
I know.
Hit the floor.
And then, like, my favorite, though, was,
Talk
like...
about shitty bands.
Yeah. My favorite, though, is, like, there was a hockey arena, like, right around the corner. So, like, twice a year, this group of fucking Canadians would come in, like, the hockey parents.
I've
and they're
been
like,
part of that group before.
yeah. No, like, these are my favorite people, and they would always be there on the weekends, like, I'd be working an overnight or something, and they just fucking, they get so fucking rowdy. Like, they roll up, like, almost 3 years, so I've seen them probably at least half a dozen times. So they knew with me, and, like, by the third time they're there, they're just rolling in fucking jugs of fucking jungle juice, like, right outside. They got can jam set up, and this is the parents.
Oh, yeah.
Like the
packs, bottles of scotch, because we'd always get duty free on our way up to the terminus up in Canada.
Yeah. And like the kids are so well behaved, they're just like on their tablets and hanging out and like not doing anything, and the fucking parents are just rowdy as fuck. They're like getting all wasted, like, let's go, like, tell me, like, drive us to the casino, we'll give you money, we'll smoke weed. The one time I used to let them, like, they wanted to hang out in the back of the hotel. They had all their fucking fold-out chairs and shit. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, just keep it down. Like, we got a full hotel, it's the middle of summer, like, and they've been drinking all fucking day, just parking lot, can jam, fucking cooler of jungle juice, everyone just getting fucking wrecked.
Definitely Bob's crowd.
Yeah, definitely Bob's crowd. So they're all, like, behind our hotel, which is, the throughway's right there. It's not the best place, but that's a party place. Like 2, 3 in the morning, they thought they were on where their hotel block of rooms was. They're like, oh, they're gonna play tricks on their kids and like start beating on the windows. But they were beating on other people's windows, so I'm getting all these fucking calls like, someone's knocking on our windows, and it's like, I have to go out back and like, come on guys, like keep it kosher. But yeah,
come
no.
on, guys, respect my door tag.
No, and they would always smuggle some good ass. They'd always smuggle good ass weed in too, so they'd always fucking. I'd be out there getting high with these people, and I'm like, I can't drink or nothing. But yeah, so hotels, like, rowdy shit goes on there.
He's got the little flashlight, fucking utility belt.
You know, I bring my cordless phone with me, like, where's the dude at the front desk? Oh, he's out, you know, smoking weed with the Canadian hockey parents behind the hotel. So yeah, rowdy shit goes down at the hotels.
Fuck yeah, I don't know. That Hotel Cecil show changed my fucking mind. I mean, I'm honestly petrified of hotels now, I think.
Why is that?
Did you watch that Hotel Cecil
No.
thing? You didn't? Did you watch it?
It was better as that show with Lady Gaga.
What, American Horror Story?
Yeah, they did a better job of it than that.
You mean that's the Hotel Cecil is a real fucking.
I know, and they did a better job of representing, like, and
yeah,
making it scary.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's a really... Do you know about that hotel?
I think we talked about this months ago, didn't we? When it was
Yeah.
first out.
What year did it... What year was it actually, like, the...
It's like the 30s?
No, even I think it was even earlier than that. Yeah, like the 20s. And it was... The hotel was built before Skid Row was a thing. Not the great band. The fucking shit area.
Great band.
I think so. But yeah. But, and this hotel became, like, it was half of the hotel was, like, cheap monthly, like, rates to basically reside
for, like, the vagabonds.
Cecil Hotel is a budget hotel in downtown Los Angeles, located at 640 South Main Street, opened on December 20th, 1924.
All right, 24. And that's when, like, shit was booming, and then it became a thing, like, when drinking and all that shit was, like, really at the forefront of people. That hotel then became a place for older men to go and hang out and fuck prostitutes and drink and smoke and do drugs and shit. And then it just became this nice, huge, elegant hotel that houses serial killers, fucking rapists, murderers, drug addicts, and also random travelers that want to go and stay at a nice place. They ended up having a secondary name to it. It was something on Main. But it was inside the Cecil Hotel, so like most of the documentary is interwoven with. It's a docuseries, so it's like 6 or 7 episodes, but it's interwoven with this story about this 19-year-old girl who, or maybe she was in her early 20s, who wanted to go on a random vacation to try to find herself, and she ends up at the Cecil Hotel, and she disappears, ends up in the water tank outside.
Oh, shit.
And
I heard about that.
this is pretty recent. This is from the mid 2000s, like maybe
When she ended up in the water tank?
2010s. Yeah.
Yeah, and the water cistern on the hotel roof following complaints. So it was 2013.
There you go.
Have you seen the video camera footage of it?
Oh, from the
It's like you can see her running from something and like hiding. In the
Well,
elevator.
there is an answer to all of it, but you gotta watch the series, and you learn about Skid Row being the place where literally, and I forget what year Skid Row was actually formed, but basically anyone who got out of
You know
jail,
what year Skid Row was from?
1983, but whatever. But so these people that just got out of jail, these people with mental
Who's a bigger
health issues-
douchebag, Sebastian Bach or Bret Michaels?
Sebastian Bach.
Okay. Back to your story.
No,
I just needed to know.
Well, I gotta think about that now, but probably Bach. But,
If you were drunk, who's more attractive, Sebastian Bach or Bret?
After 6 beers, it doesn't matter for him.
I don't like cowboy hats too much, so Bach might be...
What if he takes the cowboy hat off and just has the bandana?
No, but you know what's funny?
Actually, doesn't he have diabetes too?
Yes, type 1.
And you're pretty skilled in helping people with diabetes.
So what are you saying? I'm his caretaker?
You could be his caretaker.
And lover.
I have to have him sing me every Rose Has His Thorn every night before bed.
I'll give him his medicine. But
You wouldn't be mad about
interesting
that.
story about the Cecil Hotel in 1987. The Irish rock band U2 performed on the building's roof next to the Cecil Hotel for the band's official video, Britney Spears Have No Name.
Get out of here! I didn't know that.
Which was primarily based on the footage from this performance. Yeah.
You just made Dave Ward's day.
It's a beautiful day.
Okay, so back to your...
So they would people would get out of jail. They'd have mental issues. Literally, LA would shove all these people, homeless people that were around the entire city. They'd shove them all in this one area.
Mm-hmm.
And it became a place where cops wouldn't even really patrol it unless they were called for something that was happening, which could be anything from guys walking down the Skid Row with fucking guns and fucking knives to bloody to just constant drug dealers, prostitutes, killers, rapists. All this crazy shit in this one area, literally for the first 10 years, and I'm paraphrasing, but for a very long time in the beginning of that, cops would literally sit outside of where there was a barrier, and none of these people can leave. So all the homeless people, all the drug addicts, all the jailbirds or all the people who got out of jail were literally confined to this one fucking area. To the point where when buses of people who were coming out of jail, like getting out on their small fucking offenses, would be dropped off at the beginning of Skid Row, ushered inside, and then it's blocked off. And Cecil Hotel was right on the other side of where Skid Row was.
Quick random thought. I'm surprised nobody at Skid Row, like, decided to capitalize on this because of how famous it is and start selling, like, setting up merch booths for, like, Skid Row shirts.
All
stickers and shit.
sitting there.
Because, I mean, like, it's a famous thing. You know, all our favorite, you know, LA rockers probably spend quite some time down there scoring drugs and whatever else the hell they do. Like, I'm sure members of Guns N' Roses have probably spent some time at Skid Row looking for...
Yeah, and a lot of
Perry Farrell, I'm sure, knows people inside Skid Row back in his heroin days.
And Hotel Cecil became a place where you can literally go with $25 a day and be able to be indoors and have a thing. And where, with how close in proximity Hotel Cecil was to Skid Row, they were able to go there. Like, even though they weren't supposed to be leaving that area, they were literally able to go to this hotel. And it says a lot about humanity, the police force, how our government tries to fucking shut down and shut out the mentally ill, the drug addicted, the people who ended up in jail for stupid mistakes.
I'm just kind of shocked no one's trying to sell fucking merch. You know you'd have a Skid Row t-shirt.
I
like,
do have a
maybe
couple
we
Skid
should
Row
scheme on this shit. Like, start making some Skid Row merch. We go out there and set up a booth.
Just sell bootleg Skid Row shirts.
Some, like, vagabond.
I was there.
I slept on a box in Skid Row. That'd be kind of fun. So what are we really going to talk about today? Now that we're getting a little... what we talked about?
What were we talking about earlier that you had me stop so we could
talk
about today?
So for the last couple weeks before we had our David Lee Ward on and we did our 420 special, like we had kind of sat and like, oh, we'll talk about movie soundtracks.
Do you not want to?
Well, I mean, there's only 2 movie soundtracks that even matter to me. I mean, we can discuss it, but then we were talking about like celeb encounters maybe, and then you had a really good one on the way here, and I said, let's talk about it on the show.
Which was what?
KG.
Oh, yeah. So...
now, preface it with what we were talking about our voice and publications.
Okay. So, when I was a kid, and even up until my mid-20s, Art Voice, the Gusto, I mean, Bob, you're familiar with all these things.
Yeah.
Reed probably isn't.
We used to go to shows, and the Art Voice photographer would always be standing, like, right next to us.
Which is...
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they would have those photo pages and stuff. But anyways, it was Art Voice was a monthly publication.
Weekly.
Or, I'm sorry, a weekly it was. It was weekly. And you can find out there's restaurant reviews, concert reviews, posters of everything that is coming, new movies and what theaters, what concerts are coming to town and stuff. And basically, all
it was your it was like
internet,
the Village
it's
Voice
how
for
you
Buffalo,
found
New
out
York.
about shit, to the point where literally the day of things, I'd be reading also there'd be a paper in the Buffalo News called the Gusto that would come out on Fridays and have all the new release shit.
Is that the one you used to write for?
I wrote for the next paper.
Okay, that was the kids' Gusto, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But the Art Voice and Gusto were the things to how to find out about what's going on in the city. And one day I was working at Mighty Taco and I was reading fucking the Gusto on my break, and I found out Kyle Gass from Tenacious D. Does everyone know who do you know who Tenacious D is? With Jack Black, it's his band. They play like acoustic heavy, but it's between like, I would say, what do you say, like, it is comedy, but I wouldn't consider it comedy rock.
It's 80s ballad rock.
It's like
80s ballad rock.
It's borderline.
No.
It's borderline satire. That's what I'd call it. Borderline satire.
Dude, they got some fucking rockin' songs.
It's like Dragon Rock of the 80s.
It is okay.
Acoustic Dragon Rock.
Acoustic
Dragon
Dio.
Rock.
Acoustic Dragon Rock.
That's probably the best fucking description of that music ever.
It's really. Yeah. But I found out, I was sitting there and it said right there, the name of the band, Trainwreck, featuring Kyle Gass, and I was like, holy shit. So I talked to my buddy who was a huge Tenacious D fan, but knew nothing about...
Trainwreck?
Well, nothing about the belly of shows, like even like Mohawk Place, Show Place. I didn't know anything about these venues, and Kyle Gass was playing there, and I knew about every show that was coming to town that was talked about, and I didn't know anything about that, so I figured there was going to be 15 people there. There's like 300 people crammed inside Mohawk Place singing the 3 Tenacious D songs they played as well as their entire solo thing. It was basically like a convention crowd, but.
So it was a bunch of nerds?
A bunch of nerds. The whole thing was nerds. It was literally like going to a convention. Which I've been to a lot of them, and much more of that than a rock crowd at all.
And how many of these conventions were KISS conventions? 80%?
No.
92?
I went to 3 KISS conventions in my life, and they were all in Toronto when I was younger. I went with my dad. The other conventions, you see how he brings up KISS every single week?
I can't fucking help it.
I don't even have anything KISS up there.
I need like a shocking dog collar or something. Not to give
I
you.
can make that happen.
I know you
make
can.
that
I don't even know why I said that. I just fucked myself.
It's for the fans, man. Think for the fans.
Yeah, but I met and smoked with Kyle Gass, which was really fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And
was this before he played or after?
After. The show happened. We met. I have a picture of me in a Boss Tribal T-shirt. With the shirt Mark made is of a whale pissing, and in the piss it says Boss Tribal. It's actually a pretty fucking fun.
I've seen that. What is that even about? What is the story behind that?
I don't think there is a story. The guy wanted a whale pissing and the name Boss Tribal to be in the pool of piss.
Okay.
But he's not in water. It's a black T-shirt with the fish more or less.
Isn't it a killer whale
with
too?
With a killer whale more or less like floating.
It's a weird flex.
But but Kyle Gass did mention the shirt and said, "What's up with that shirt?" And I said, "Oh, it's the band I'm in." But
you should have fucking called Mark and said that fucking Tenacious D wants Boss Tribal to open him up. That would have been fucking amazing.
Oh my god, yes.
And I didn't know how Tenacious D relevant that show was going to be. Like, the singer was the pizza guy and one of the main characters from the show and the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what his name is now, but Kyle's entire backing band was the backing band for Tenacious D Live. So it was fucking cool. But I love little shows like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever see any like bands in a club that, or artists like singers, guitar players at smaller shows that you were just fucking shocked by?
Off the top of my head, I can think of one. It wasn't in a smaller thing, but I guess it's a celebrity encounter. Does involve some smoking of the marijuana too. And okay, so
I know what you're getting into. Go ahead.
It was like 96. There was an Art Voice too. It all ties in. Look at that. It's an Art Voice Street Festival.
Yeah, they did that. We were talking about Smile Empty Soul earlier too, and I seen them at a fucking Art Voice Street. Is that are you talking about the L7 one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't be admitting about seeing Smile Empty Soul on camera, but that's you.
Whatever.
So it was Sweet 75, which is Chris Noveselic, his band after Nirvana, which he was a guitar player for. L7 and Sloan.
Was he the guitar player for Black 57?
Sweet 75. Yeah, no, he was. He was.
There is a band called Black 47, and that's probably where.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he was playing, and then come to find out, he was also like they were on tour with L7, and he was filming like this L7 tour documentary, which I think just got released last year.
It's out there right now.
And it just got released last year. So obviously, like, oh shit, Chris Noveselic, like bass player for fucking Nirvana.
And what
like,
year? This was 2 years after Kurt died.
96.
So yeah, so 2
I think it was like right before my senior year. I like literally just went back to school like the day before or something. So me and my friend Leanne and my neighbor Tim, Metallica Tim, go to the show. Remember back in the day we used to go to shows and that old dude Spike was at every fucking show? That old punk dude that was like 80 years old, but he always had like mohawks and like blue hair. We used to call him Spike.
Yet, but it comes back to me.
Is that the one with the big nose ring?
It was just this old guy that we'd see. Like,
there's a couple that we chilled with, or like a dude in his 70s that had the.
It was just like this old guy.
We color hair, nose
when we
ring.
first started going to shows, like he was.
He's come to like 5 of our shows. I remember seeing him a bunch, like at a lot of those shows up there. I remember seeing him.
It's probably the same guy. Did he have like
rounds.
different colored hair and shit?
Yeah, but he's like, his name is.
We just called him. We just called him
Jack?
Spike, because he always had spiked hair.
It's actually one of the dudes from that first band I was in. his wife's. That's his wife's
Next door neighbor's
uncle
brother's
or
cousin's uncle.
grandfather or something. But yeah.
Yeah, he was an old school punker dude. We used to run into him at shows, but anyways.
Of course, he'd have a name like Spike.
No, that wasn't his real.
Spike.
That's just what we called him.
Yeah,
Because, like, what do you call an 80-year-old punk guy with, like, blue hair and a mohawk? Call him Spike.
James wants to dress as a punk dude so bad.
So
that
bad.
All he can do
So
is talk
bad.
shit about the people that
He's
do.
so bad.
How do I even want to dress like a punk dude?
I don't
Like,
know.
I could
I just see like the jealousy when you talk about Dave.
Because he pines for when he used to dress up as a grunge kid.
As a grunge kid.
A lot of eyeliner and fingernail polish.
Ah.
A lot of dyed hair, which is not possible anymore.
You didn't expect that truth bomb. That just dropped out of the fucking airplane.
A lot about himself right now. That's all.
I just watched him remember that he used to do that.
No, I remember it. I was waiting for you to say, like, polyester. And it... Remember how your dad used to just fucking give me shit all the time about the way I dressed and the fucking nail Yeah, his
He
dad...
was shocked when he found out you had a girlfriend.
Oh.
But, yeah, no, legit. It was a legit thing. Yeah, your dad was fucking definitely questioning me for a long time. Anyway, so, you know, Krist Noveselic's playing town, like, fuck yeah, like, we gotta go see him. And we show up, and, like, the first thing, like, they're just in little buses or whatever, and L7 comes out, and, like, we see them just happen to get off their van or whatever, and they're looking for a place to go smoke some weed, which I'm about that life. So I remember, I think it was Danita or Jennifer, I don't remember which one, had this little, like, marble bowl, and we ended up going behind, like, a corner of a restaurant and fucking sparking up some bud.
Wait, so what location was this at this point?
I'm not even sure where the fuck it was. I think it was, like, Franklin Street or
Okay, so it was always at the same location then.
It was somewhere down there. I don't remember
that's
exactly
where the one
it
I
was.
went to was at our Voice Street Festival. Was on Franklin and...
Yeah, it was
like a cross street.
Yeah, it's
The stage was set up.
not too far from where they used to have Thursday in the Square.
Yeah,
it was
right.
out in that area.
Yeah, definitely.
So you just go, and Spike, like, he saw L7, like, that's what he was there for. So, like, he's literally running down the street, like, going to fucking chase down L7. Metallica Tim was a huge L7 fan.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, we're smoke a little bit of weed with L7.
Oh, you know this Metallica Tim guy? I'm sort of interested in... Was he that big of a Metallica fan? Yeah, now I'm even more interested.
I don't know, Metallica
He's got
Tim...
problems.
Yeah, I don't know if we haven't canceled him on the show yet. Tim, if you're watching, you're going to be canceled soon, motherfucker.
Why?
It's a whole other thing.
Wow.
Yeah, Tim, especially texting me all this pro-Trump shit non-fucking stop. Yeah, that's why he's almost canceled. But anyways.
Metallica Tim. Was he that big of a Metallica fan?
Yeah.
Like a diehard?
He used to wear a shirt that said Burst School Metallica Death, so we just to say Burst School Metallica Tim. But anyways, so, like, all of a sudden, like, we're standing there, and out of this fucking van pops fucking Krist Noveselic. Which, I mean, in 1996, like, there's no Kurt, but there's Chris, who is Kurt's best friend. And, like, school had just started, so we knew we were going to the show. Went into the school library and found, like, some Rolling Stone magazines, ripped out some pictures, because he happened to be in, like, one of the fucking issues. And we're just, like, so in awe, like, Krist Noveselic's there, and he gets out, and he's the fucking nicest dude ever. And me and my friend Leanne are standing there, and she had her camera, and I'm gonna fucking call her tonight and tell her, you gotta find these fucking pictures. You have to. Stop watching these other fucking podcasts you waste your time with, and find my fucking pictures.
Unless it's Bad Friends. Bad Friends is a funny fucking podcast.
It's very funny.
But anyway, so...
But Bobby, the thing is, I feel... Do you watch his other podcast?
I've watched a little bit
Tire
of it.
Belly.
Yeah.
I like Bad Friends more because of the contrast between him.
I like it because it's way more confrontational.
It is. The whole thing is confrontational. It's sort of
like
like what we strive for.
Yeah, but, like, there's the line, and a lot of people get to that line. They fucking jump over that line. They point to everybody else on the other side of that line.
Yeah.
And they cross that line, like, every week, and it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It's a lot of, like, what we do randomly where we're just, like, giving each other shit, but it's the entire fucking episode.
Yeah, because the only other podcast I really watch is Sammy the Bull Gravano.
Yeah, also amazing.
Yeah, and like I had to go back and watch the episode 7 again last night just because, like, fuck yeah, Sammy, you are the man.
Yeah.
Only thing better than us is him.
Did you watch Mob Wives?
A little bit.
So his daughter was on it.
Yeah, I seen that they had a reunion. I haven't watched it yet though.
Yeah, she wrote a book. So I remember watching Mob Wives and her talking about Sammy the Bull and, like, how he got busted because he took the fall for her selling ecstasy in the club out in Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
So how scripted is Mob Wives?
It wasn't, because they're real as fuck. They can't control themselves.
They're like,
can't.
it's next level Falls chicks.
Like, have you met Sarah?
Yeah.
It's
They're like
Sarah from Staten Island.
Exactly like I said, next level
Who was
Falls
involved
chicks.
with the mob?
Right.
Next level Falls chicks.
Yeah.
Like, I got a little bit of Falls chick in me, and
Well, the thing too is that like the
Yes,
mob
I'm sure
was a
you
huge part. Like there was the Buffalo mob over here, but in the '60s and '70s, like Niagara Falls was the place to be. That's where all the business was. Like the mob had a huge presence over in Western New York. I mean, they still do. There were still fucking shootings up in Ontario. What was it? 2 years? Like right before COVID.
Yeah, that was
Well, the
mob
one-
related, right?
Oh, yeah.
yeah, one of the
I
mob
remember
bosses
hearing-
up there got shot outside his house.
Yeah, and his brother got killed like 3 or 4 years before that shit, or got at least shot. But yeah, that shit's still going on. I mean, Lockport Gambino Ford and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know the story behind all that.
Yeah,
Do you, if that's the truth, and there's still mob presence in
There
this
is.
world,
There's a wiki page and everything.
okay, then what do you think's gonna like? Who's dying first? That's been talking in immense detail on these podcasts. Which one is gonna get fucking killed?
Statute of limitations is up.
yeah,
Like,
and then
Yeah, I know, and that's the reasoning for actually doing it. But isn't mob mentality
Well, I think,
more
like-
about the trust in the family than it is?
But now these are,
about
like-
statues.
these are like old time gangsters now, and like the mob is like in a whole different place, so they're kind of like grandfathered out of that part
Well,
of the
the thing is,
lifestyle,
like-
and the newer things going on.
Because the newer thing is legitimized business. And what they do is they'll do things like bid fixing and shit like that.
Right.
Like, so it's still illegal, but it's really hard to prove unless you have them tapped and like got them on fucking camera doing the shit. But yeah, they've legitimized their businesses now, so it's not like it used to be. So it's really hard to like pin them down. They just watch them, wait for them to make a mistake. Really.
So what was the killing over then 2 years ago when that happened? Was it just
Mob shit.
Mob shit.
but mobs are still actively actually running right now though.
Yeah, just not.
But
It's
it's not
not
to the
like
extreme that
not
it
like it
was.
was back. I mean, with the
I mean,
RICO
do you follow
laws now.
politics at all?
Yeah, but I mean, the mob mentality doesn't have control over the streets like they.
Have you heard JFK?
Have you heard
RFK?
Governor Cuomo?
Like, the mob has been active all this time. Where there's money, there's power. And where there's power, there's the mob. Like, that's what they fucking... They're making a buck. That's why they've been so successful over the years, is because they diversify. It's not like the cartels out of Mexico. They just traffic drugs and people. Like,
Yeah,
that's
anywhere
just
they
it.
can find to make a dollar.
They're making a buck. They got their hands in everything. And, like, that's why they can do it legit.
Like, I'm surprised y'all ain't started the fucking pulled pork mafia yet in fucking Lockport.
Pulled pork mafia.
You go squeeze the competition.
There's a lot of fucking barbecue places in this little
That's
section of Niagara County right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
How new? Like how many are there, and how many are like new? Like we know Jax has been there for 30 years.
Yeah.
Not in that location.
like 28 to
Right,
23.
So there's a place out in Gasport or
Yeah,
Middleport.
Mm-hmm.
There's both, because there's like Backside Barbecue, then there's like the other barbecue place out there, like right on Rochester Road. Then there's Mrs. Ribs.
Mrs. Ribs. Then there's Kentucky Greg's up in Depew.
Well, that's the Pew.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like...
No, I'm talking about like Niagara County. Like,
Yeah,
right here in this
okay,
section,
okay.
Yeah, fucking barbecue is like rivaling fucking wings right now because wings are so fucking crazy expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
there's a
actually
whole
gonna be
there's a
taking them off the
shortage.
menu for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a nationwide shortage.
Dude, even buying raw in bulk right now is like $4.29 a pound at the fucking meat market.
You got the Hollywood Hills barbecue that is invite only.
Dude, I made some fucking killer Korean barbecue wings last night. Or not barbecue, spicy Korean pepper wings.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
was
shit.
it good?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck
I didn't know
yeah.
you were still fucking around with the wings.
I haven't, just because like I've
Yeah, because there's a
been over there
national
smoker.
chicken wing
Yeah,
shortage.
they're pricey right now. They're like twice as expensive as they were this time last year.
Yeah, per wing for a restaurant, it's like $2.50. It fucking fluctuates. Could be $2 the next week. Could be $2.50.
Yeah.
They're literally raising shit like dry goods and fucking food every single fucking day. It's the price is changing, and wings you can't get. We went to order wings from this cool new little spot in Kenmore, and at 2 in the afternoon on my birthday they ran out of wings because they have to like limit the amount that they're
Yeah.
selling every day so they can still have wings the next day and the wing after that. But what that's doing is that's making them actually shut down at fucking 2 o'clock in the afternoon when they're normally open until 10. It's so expensive. You
What's happening is that the global supply chain right now has been like overly taxed, and it started with those 25% tax increases on China, which right or wrong, I think it was something needed to happen, but all of a sudden all these companies started moving everything out of China and other countries, and so all these supply chains that have been working like for the last 20 years had to reroute and like start setting up in different regions of the world.
Oh, fuck.
And then COVID hit on top of that. And then it's all starting to feed its way right now into consumer pricing, like over the last year.
Yeah, and everything's going up. Me, Julie, and Val went and ate at a restaurant the other day that's normally like $60 for the three of us to eat at. It was like fucking $90. Like, everything's going up a lot. Not just a little bit. Like, places are raising their prices and they're going up a lot. And like we talked about before with the collectibles market and stuff, even all of that shit that isn't big business or restaurants or so, it's just fucking collecting things, is COVID just completely spiked where all this shit it's now worth triple than it was last fucking February. It's nuts. Crazy.
Okay, so out of the van steps the legend.
What?
Without missing a beat.
Yeah, that's how I do
He's
it.
like, look
That's
at how
how
you fuckers are done.
This,
I forgot what he was talking about.
I know. Take notes. This is professionalism.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sounds it. Go ahead.
Out of the van steps the legend, Krist Noveselic, towering at like 6'3", 6'4".
Okay.
And we're just standing there like little teenagers, fucking completely in awe, like he's there. And he's ready to talk to us, and he's super fucking cool.
Did you have on your Kurt Cobain shirt
No.
to really make it weird?
Actually, I had my... What did you say, grunge? What did you call it? My grunge look up with... I didn't have eyeliner.
Your grunge
Definitely had nail polish.
black nail polish from what I remember in the picture.
No, it was like sparkly blue. I never wear black. That's goth.
Listen, that makes it better. Sure, go
Yeah,
ahead.
you got if you're gonna rock it, do it sparkly, man.
Blue's pretty solid.
You know what?
Like
I said,
dark
yeah.
gray too.
I
Yeah.
feel like his boy Billy Corgan wears sparkly blue nail
No,
polish.
Billy Corgan is not a nail polish guy, but the very first time I seen Smashing Pumpkins, Garbage opened, and Butch Vig was the drummer for Garbage, also producer of...
He is Garbage pretty much as far as musically. Right?
What? Oh, the band. I thought you meant like he's Garbage. I'm like, did you listen to any of the shit that he
You
fucking...
meant like the band.
No.
Yeah,
he,
okay,
first
no,
of all,
yeah, he
and
is.
he produced one of the best Foo Fighters records ever.
He
Wasted
produced,
Light.
Daydream Nation, fucking...
Produced Nevermind.
Nevermind. Pretty much anything good in the 90s, like, had Butch Vig's
No, my
signature
point about
Dream.
Garbage was that was sort of like
Yeah,
his
no, yeah.
brainchild.
Yeah, for sure.
The whole fucking project.
The only thing that, like, makes him kind of garbage is the fact that he was a drummer, but otherwise...
Oh, so jealous. So jealous.
Ain't no jealous, I just gotta take shots where I can get them in.
Okay.
But anyways, like,
Okay.
we were standing backstage hoping to meet fucking, members of the band, whatever.
Was
And
anyone
then-
else of note in this band with Chris?
No,
No.
just him.
Alright.
But this is, at the Pumpkin Show, whatever, Garbage is going on stage because they're the opening band, and Butch Vig is like, we're standing at the backstage area, he goes in to use this fucking restroom or whatever before he's going on, so I'm like, oh shit, it's Butch Vig, like, gotta fucking, like, go meet him, get his autograph, so...
James pulls his cock out. Walks right into the bathroom.
Again,
With your mouth.
why does shit always get weird when you have to comment shit? You always got some weird shit to say.
Dude,
You've been
you're
very
talking
penis focused
Yeah, I know.
lately.
Kenai focused.
Facts.
No.
Like, yeah, you're always talking about, like, dildos and other shit. Like, whoa, man, like, this isn't what we're talking about.
Listen.
Like, you want to do
I
that
take comedic, what's the word I'm looking for? Comedic
Penetration.
penetration.
license? Comedic license?
I take some risks.
Yeah.
Some comedic risks.
They're fucking very they're risque.
Let's make
Like,
sure
you want to
put rubber on it.
Like, come over on Sundays when I
Alright.
work and film this podcast.
Well, let me tell you why I made that comment. You're sweating over Noveselic because in your mind he was Kurt Cobain's best friend.
Just because he's fucking
B,
Krist Noveselic.
you're then talking about following Butch Vig into the bathroom, and you are now the only one that goes, there's Butch Vig going to the bathroom! So yes, I said you unbuttoned your pants and pulled out your peni, as Bob called it, and walked into the bathroom. Bob then said, would you sign this? In some weird alpha male voice. And then I decided to say, with your mouth. Don't think it's that far-fetched, nor is it homoerotic.
Alright. It's only weird if this isn't the only dude you followed into the bathroom.
If it's it's not. Let me explain it to me. I was still trying to process this.
Have you followed other superstars into the bathroom?
No.
Ever.
No.
What about Billy Corgan?
No.
Did you want to?
By no means.
Okay.
I just wanted a fucking autograph. I'm 16, that's bitch wig. Yeah, let's fucking...
Alright.
I don't even, like, I had to go to the bathroom anyways. If it makes any better. And I
figured if I gotta relieve myself, I might as well relieve him.
We were in far separate stalls. I did not bother him while he was doing his business. I had my own business to do. We then washed hands. We didn't wash hands.
Rub-a-dub-dub.
But the moral of the story is, me and Butch Vig just happened to be wearing the same color nail polish, and it was a sparkly blue. So as I'm asking him to autograph my Smashing Pumpkins Just Say Maybe t-shirt, which he did, we had a little conversation about the nail polish. My friend Leanne is standing outside the door, so we come out, we're talking. Meanwhile, you can hear, like, Shirley Manson from Garbage calling him, like, where's our drummer? And he's back discussing nail polish colors, and we discussed our favorite colors and talked about some albums, and then he went on his way. And then the second part of that story, though, which I was going to save for another time, but we're standing there, and then fucking like 5 minutes later, there's all these people in this hallway, and all of a sudden, like, people are fucking, like, dropping like flies, like, falling to the ground, like, crying and shit, like, what the fuck's going on? Now, mind you, it's 96, like, Melancholy just came out.
Right.
Here comes Billy Corgan walking with the pizza guy. And he's just walking down this hallway, and all these people see him, and they're, like, freaking out like it's fucking Jesus.
Well, that was his peak of stardom, right?
Yeah. People are falling down like they just saw fucking Jesus, like, weeping, like, crying, like, nobody's fucking saying anything. He's walking by, and he's, like, laughing. It's probably fucking amusing to him. And then here I have my Just Say Maybe t-shirt, and it took me years to figure this whole situation out. I got the joke. It took a decade or more. So I'm standing there, just met Butch Vig, I'm all excited. And I see Billy, I'm like, Billy, will you sign my shirt? And he's looking at me, and he's laughing. And then he's just like, maybe later. And I'm like, maybe later? You're not going to see me later? Like, you're going to play a fucking show. And then he's like, maybe I'll sign it later. And then just keeps on fucking walking. Right to the backstage and disappears. And I was like kind of pissed for years. Like, you motherfucker. Like, I had the fucking Sharpie in my hand. You could have just fucking did it. It took me like a good decade or more to realize, like, I had the Just Say Maybe shirt on, so he probably was just like, he just said maybe.
Yeah, it's fucking with you.
Yeah,
because I used to wear that shirt in school all the time, and I'd be at, like, the line at lunch and shit, and people standing behind me be like, maybe.
It also could have been the way he said it. Billy, would you sign my shirt?
No, I mean, it's the fact there was literally, like, 40 fucking people that were just, like, falling to the ground in tears. Like, nobody approached them. Everybody was dropping, like, fucking flies.
I bet if you would have gone into the bathroom with him and asked him, he would have done it.
Well, usually just say maybe, but today...
So I wasn't to save that story for a fucking whole different time, but since we're talking about following fucking people and...
That had to be interesting to go, but something tells me you were, like, you're acting like you were, like, the cool, calm one. Like,
yeah, that totally was. Yeah, that's...
Did it really work out that way?
I didn't get the fucking signature.
Or were you the one crying? Like, oh.
I was the only one that wasn't fucking crying.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Now, this was towards the back, like, on the side of the stage?
No, this was, like, in the old Memorial Auditorium, like, down in the fucking walkway in the tunnels, like... And we had already gone and, like, snuck backstage and ended up in all these different fucking places of the arena. Even down in the parking garage, and, like, could not find any band members. But anyways,
It's
like,
even way harder to do that shit now. Nowadays, you can't with all the VIP shit and paying $500 to meet people. Who would you pay? Would you pay to meet anybody?
would I pay to meet anybody?
Yeah, like would you pay like $200 if you had the expendable cash? Would you pay $200 to meet like Corgan?
No.
Would you pay to meet anybody?
No,
See,
I
I'm the only
mean,
one in the room that has paid to meet multiple people.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll just catch him out on the fucking street corner somewhere or meet him. If not, like...
I mean, because you have that, like...
What are you doing on the street corner, dude?
Making money.
In the bathroom?
Yeah.
The sign on you rock stars.
So anyways, yeah, like, I didn't want to talk about that today, but we did, because we were talking about nail polish and following gentlemen into the bathroom.
Sorry, yeah, well.
Yeah, it was weird. So anyways, like, back to Noveselic, like, he jumps out of this van, and, like, he's super fucking cool, and, like, we got these fucking, like, got these pictures. I'm like, oh, yeah, like, we signed these fucking pictures, and he's like, oh, Rolling Stone, because he obviously recognized it, and then we're like, yeah, we know we went to our school library, and, like, ripped him out of the thing, and he's like, if your school, like, if all your school has a Rolling Stone and they don't have Maximum Rock and Roll, then your school's no good.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
And then we asked, like, do some pictures, and he's like, let me do my Heisman pose, and he's doing poses, and I asked him about some, like, bootlegs, like, they did, with this one bootleg I had, Nirvana was over in Europe, and they covered at the end by the Doors,
Right.
but they changed the lyrics to being, like, all about waffles and pancakes. And I asked him about that, and he's just like, oh, we were just so drunk and didn't know what the fuck we were doing, so we're just, like, having a good time. I mean, like, he asked me about the Kurt Cobain shirt. It's funny you did, because, like, he signed our shit. Then some other kid came up and had some drawings he made. He signed them. But then, like, Chris was, like, kind of just hanging with us. Like, we were just, like, chilling, and he's like, oh, I'm filming this fucking L7 thing. Like, we were literally...
Did you watch the documentary yet?
Not yet.
I wonder if
But-
you're on it, dude. Was he filming you at all?
Oh yeah, he had his like old like retro cameras and shit. He's taking pictures. The girl that was the lead singer of the band, she came out. She was taking like we were all taking pictures of each other.
All original set that they played? Was it all original songs? Yeah.
So then there was all these kids. They had like these Kurt Cobain shirts on, and he like they were trying to get autographs later on. Like he was just hanging out with us. Like, oh, I'm filming L7. Like, do you want to come stand next to me or whatever? Come watch it. So. We got to watch it, like, in between the barrier and the stage where he had, like, his old Super 8 camera and he's filming it, and we're standing next to him. And then, like, we're just hanging out for, like, half the afternoon with the dude and, like, totally chill. And then we start seeing these kids that have all these, like, Nirvana shirts, and they're asking him for autographs, and he's not signing anybody's fucking autographs. And then later on, we're seeing people with Kurt Cobain shirts signing Krist on them. They sign themselves because they're spelling it C-H-R-I-S. And Chris spells his name Krist.
Right.
So it was a fucking weird thing. So
Yeah, that's
I've been waiting for the L7 documentary to come out to see if we were actually like in it with him. But like he hung out with us for like 2-3 hours,
Yeah,
played
you
a show, and like didn't sign anybody else's shit, didn't really hang out with anybody else, like wished us goodbye, like went on his way, he went to his van, like we went and did whatever. And...
How great would it be if 1996 James was on this fucking L7 documentary?
I feel like there's a really high probability of that.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for it to come out. Like, they just released it. And I kind of want to see it, too. I thought you were going to say how great would it be to have 1996 James on this podcast.
Oh,
And I was waiting to see Bob's reaction, because Bob's the only one besides me that knew 1996 James. What are your thoughts on that? Since I'm learning about myself here.
this is real time.
1996, James?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. You'd probably be drinking a little bit. You'd probably getting a little silly.
Yeah.
Maybe looking to break something.
Really? Were you a completely different dude in '96? In that time period?
He would get a little wacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one
'Cause
time...
I know you was like calm all the time.
No, he used
Yeah.
to fuck with me. Like,
Yeah.
I was like drunk, passed out under the Christmas tree or some shit, and you were flicking water on my face. And like... half unconscious me like chased him into the like kitchen, and I woke up to me like holding him against the fridge.
That's more like it.
And then I remember waking up, and then we were partying the next day, and he was under the Christmas tree just passed the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
out.
Was that at my house?
Yeah, yeah.
Or was
Tachi Drive.
Yeah, was that one New Year's that we went to, like Andy's, somebody's house, and we had that
Jason's mom's house.
Oh, is that where we had that fucking wild new, like we were sliding down the fucking stairs?
Yeah.
And into the Christmas tree, and like landing on fucking broken Christmas ornaments.
I just remember we couldn't find food. We were all like super hungry, and there's just like no food.
Yeah, and we didn't really have much weed either.
I don't know.
No, we didn't.
No, we had enough alcohol though.
Yeah, no, we definitely had alcohol.
I figured you guys would like always be stocked with weed.
No, weed was it was tough back in the day. The struggle was fucking real. Y'all youngsters
Early
don't know how.
mid-90s, yeah, that was tough.
You guys don't know how good
I
we have it.
experienced it a little bit before it was extremely easy to get anywhere.
So, who would be a better host, 96 James or 2021 James?
I don't know.
Probably 2021 because you wouldn't have the stories yet.
But I'd probably be drinking and smacking you up a little bit.
Let's go, motherfucker. I've been trying to tell you, let's have a fucking drinking episode. I'm in.
Well, you just gotta like not have to go to work afterwards. Unless you...
No,
I think...
I know we'll have to do it on
50% of our episodes have been you having a drinking episode. What are you talking about?
No, I've drank on maybe 3 episodes. And again, the one with Dave, I was pretty shit-faced.
Yeah. What am I going to drink? Iced tea? Like, I don't want to fucking drink no alcohol.
No, you gotta...
Rum and Coke, too. You can't say no to a Bacardi and Coke.
You have to... No.
Look at that look! You know,
alcohol. I'm not talking about drinking
to an ice-cold Bacardi and Coke. That'll fucking get him every time. Throw an umbrella in there, you can't say no.
So, like, when I stopped drinking, like, this asshole fucking... him and his wife figured out this fucking way to get me to drink at least once or twice a year by making fucking Jello shots, usually on the fucking 4th of July or New Year's, and I'm like, I can't fucking drink. And then all of a sudden, like, you show up with fucking 120 Jello shots. Like,
listen, if you're doing it for a sobriety thing...
It wasn't even a sobriety.
Because the conversation last week opened me up to a whole new vision of you and drinking. Like, I don't want to push it.
No, it's not a sobriety thing. It's just I just don't like drinking. And like I said, these assholes fucking... They were trying to crack me for years. Even though, like, I'm a pretty solid DD, which I think when my friends got a little bit older...
Oh, that was so key in so many
That's what I'm saying. Like,
situations.
you wanted me to be drinking and partying like I used to, but then you're like, wait a minute, this dude's fucking sober.
Tell me the first
like,
time you ever drove a car.
This sounds great.
No, so I'll save the entire day for a whole different time because this whole shit is crazy, but the short story is we're at a fucking outdoor festival with the same people. Like, we've already canceled these people, but their band has fucking played this thing.
And there's them, just the
we canceled the dude.
That's how rumors get started.
Okay, so at this particular this place, it's like outdoors. It's it's like a fall fest at a college. They have a fucking beer truck with like 20 kegs or some shit. We're just fucking drinking.
We're there when it opens.
And we're there. We're the last people there too.
Yeah,
like to the point where like we got a keg we're bringing back to the fucking frat house we're staying at. 20 kegs are fucking pounded.
We ended
like
up in some cabin, just like sitting on the keg drinking.
Yeah.
From the keg. Yeah.
So
we were getting pretty bored.
There might even been like there was like a hippie band playing. There was some hallucinogens. I don't even know if we ended up eating hallucinogens.
I wasn't doing drugs and stuff at that time.
I don't remember what the fuck happened, but needless to say, like we're here all like from the time we get there till after everybody's gone. We're like pretty much the last people, and we got to go back to like this college where all the fucking frat houses are and shit, or off campus where the frat houses are, and all day drinking. I've never driven a fucking car in my life. Like, I backed my car out of the driveway a couple times and pulled it in. That's about it. And we're fucking driving down, and all of a sudden Bob is so fucking shit-faced. He's like, dude, you gotta fucking drive. And I'm like, what? I've never fucking driven a car before. Like, it was so bad. Like, he gave me the fucking keys. Like, all right, you're driving.
We're going up and down these hills.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't do this.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
really?
so
You just.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just like pull off and hang for a little bit?
Because we had a fucking
no sobering up.
Yeah, no, and there was a keg that we needed to get back to this frat house.
You were hammered too, though.
Oh yeah, we were. And like we didn't have. I'm not gonna get into the whole story, but we didn't have any fucking weed, so like and he wasn't smoking, I don't think.
No, I wasn't.
So I'm like smoking resin the whole time, and there was like this one weird dude. I'll save it for another time, but he ended up having weed, and it was fucking like white and this crazy killer fucking homegrown shit. So I did smoke that too, on top of all this fucking booze we drank. And then the fucking funniest thing is we pull into this fucking frat house, and, like, I don't even know how the fuck we got there. I'd never driven a fucking car before in my life. We somehow got there.
He got us there, yeah.
And we're getting out. We're supposed to go to this, like, frat house. I think it was, like, a Jack frat house. But they were the coolest motherfuckers because they smoked me up the whole fucking time.
Really?
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Did you...
But this is the best part. We get out of the car, and, like, across from, like, the Jack frat house we're going to, there's, like, the artsy frat house. And there's fucking these kids on this patio.
Is there a fire escape?
Yeah, they're just chilling. They're being all artsy and shit. And they're like... they're like, hi, guys. Like, we're having a wine and cheese party over here. So I'm, like, wasted. Like, I go into the fucking frat house. Bob and the other individual, like, just never fucking come to the frat house for hours.
I'm not gonna go to a fucking frat house with a wine and cheese party.
Like, I didn't, like, I'm stupid. I go into the fucking Jack frat house. I'm waiting for these.
Because you were like, I need to go smoke weed. I know dude there has weed. So.
Yeah,
They
so,
were
like,
cool, though? Like...
Oh, yeah, that's total. Like, at that time, I was, like, not really cool with Jacks, but these dudes were solid. Like, they had fucking mad good bud. They smoked me the fuck out. Like, I'm waiting for my friends. I don't know there.
Wait. So you going to this party?
Like that's
was
just...
that the plan to go to this
No, we had
party?
no idea.
We did.
Okay, so...
I don't even know what... Like...
So then, at the place where you guys have the kegs, you find out you're going to this party. You make the plans.
No, we got out of the car eventually when we got back to where the frat house was. We parked around I remember now, like around the block from the frat house.
Yeah.
We had to walk through this parking lot. And they were like up there, and I was just like, hey, what's up? Or like something.
Yeah, there was an interaction.
Yeah.
And so I go, because the people that were putting on this event that we were at this, that was this frat house.
Okay.
So that's where that, like, after party was. That's probably where we were supposed to be crashing or whatever. And I go in, like, and Bob and dude are not there for a while. And I'm like, where the fuck are these dudes? Like, they ended up going to the fucking wine and cheese party.
So solid.
And I'm, like, stuck, yeah. But so then, like, an hour or two passes by, and they finally come to the fucking frat house, but they got the whole, like, half the crew with them in tow.
Coach up with, like, 30 fucking people.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And all I remember, like... And
I was
they're
like, we gotta stop and get my buddies.
Yes, no. So they're going to a fucking rave downtown. And all I remember is, like, they have this whole fucking posse of our kids, and one of them, like, had the fucking the rice patty hat.
Yeah, that's right.
And, like, a fucking blue jacket, and they're like, alright, we're going to this fucking rave. It was for, like, students only. Like, alright, we're going to a fucking rave. So we're like, why? And we're still fucking shit-faced.
Yeah.
And we go to the...
First time you drove a car.
Yeah, it was fucking... So we walk, like, to downtown. This is in Alfred, New York. We're at Alfred University. We get downtown, and, like, it's legit, like, students-only fucking rave. And we're walking in, and, like, Bob just walks in. Like, the kid with the... Like, all the art kids, they all walk in. The other kid walks in, and then they fucking stop me, and they're like, where's your school ID? And I'm like, I ain't got no school ID. You can't get in. So now I have to fucking drunk walk back to the fucking... Find the frat house. And, like, I think I got chased down by some fucking dudes at some point.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that, yeah.
So, the next morning, like, I'm stuck back at the frat house, right?
Alright.
And there's, like, everybody's out partying in town and shit, so it's me, like, 3 random jacks. There was the bass player of one of these local bands we used to see all the time. Just randomly happened to be out there. I can't remember the band, but he was there, like, so... At least, like, the 3 random jacks that were just chilling at home were smoking mad weed, so that was kind of cool.
Right.
Hours later, like, the other individual we were with who was in the band shows up, and he's like, where's Bob? I'm like, I don't know, you were with him at the fucking rave. So, sun comes up. Now we're like, where the fuck is Bob? Like, last we seen him, like, he was shit-faced and he went to a fucking rave. Where the fuck is Bob? So, like, and it was in the middle of fall. I remember we had this, like, really nice fall morning. The sun's coming up. It's, like, kind of chilly. Like, there's some dew and shit. We're walking around the town. Like, seeing the architecture, still fucked up. I remember there was these 2 kids, specifically 2 kids from Rochester. They were, like, high school kids, too, because I think I was a senior in high school at the time. And they had come out, and they come out to a party, like, at a different frat house, and they were kind of in the same situation. They lost one of their buddies, so now they're looking for them, and they
so
were just...
you left, hold on, the bigger part of the story is, you got into the rave and you left him.
Wait,
Me and the other dude, I didn't know he didn't get it until after.
Yeah, he didn't know.
you
Like
already
because he
right,
just
okay.
fucking
'Cause I was
walked.
like, yo, we just gotta make it look like we're
Yeah,
students.
and he just walked right in, and I was just like slow about it, and like they got me. Like everybody's just walking in, and then they got me. I was the smallest dude. Like
You would be the one to get
Yeah.
slapped. I would too.
yeah, so like they go into this fucking rave, and I remember the person I was with was not feeling these kids. They were punk rock kids, and they were like fucking breaking bottles and shit, doing some punk rock kid shit. I was cool with it, but this other kid didn't like it. And we're just walking around all fucking morning, like, where the fuck is Bob? Where the fuck is Bob? So finally, we find like a Burger King or an Arby's or a Wendy's or something. We're like, all right, we gotta go get something to fucking eat to like soak up all this fucking booze and whatever. And then all of a sudden, like, it's probably like 11:30, 12, noon, 1:30, who the fuck knows?
It was like 10:30, I think.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what time. I was just really fucked up still. That's all I remember. And all of a sudden, like, here comes Bob pulling in his fucking Fairmont in the parking lot, just driving. I think he had your sunglasses on, and I'm like, where the fuck were you? Come to find out, like, Bob was in this rave, and then he, like, got so fucked up, like, did they have, like, some couches or something?
Well, yeah, they had like beds set up and everything.
Yeah.
I've been drinking for like 16
yeah,
hours.
like, we put a fucking
And now I'm
dead.
in a rave, I'm just like running around like a fucking madman, and like, I don't know.
And you were after the wine. So at some point, like, Bob needs to sit down and rest his eyes and get a second wind. They must have thought he was fucking dead or OD'd, so they call the fucking ambulance on him.
Oh.
And they fucking, like, bring an ambulance to the fucking rave to get Bob. But at that point, like, he realizes paramedics are there to take him to the hospital because I think he's fucking dead or OD'd, so he starts fighting paramedics.
I wasn't fighting paramedics.
I thought you were fighting
No.
Okay,
so they were like,
I wasn't there, so I don't know. I thought
Yeah.
you were fighting paramedics.
So I woke up on the couch, and there's this girl sitting next to me, like, "Oh, good, you're back with us." I was like, "What do you mean?"
You're back with us.
And they were like, "Well, we just couldn't get you to wake up." I was like, "Well, it's like 6:00 in the morning." I was like, "I'm normally sleeping right now." And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, it was late." I was like, "All right, I'm good." And she's like, "No, sit down, no, blah, blah, blah." And then I see the paramedics walk in. I'm like, "Oh, fuck no." And then I get up to they're like, "No, you stay right there, blah, blah, blah." And then the cops walk in. They're like, "Listen, you go with them or you come with us." And I already known, like, a girl I went to college with, like, had been beaten by the Alfred cops, like,
Oh, shit.
in the hospital when she was on acid. And, like, was, like, traumatized from that shit. And so I know these guys were fucking douchebags, and they were just looking, they were upset. They were pissed they had to be there.
Right.
So I'm like, "Oh, I'm going with the paramedics." So then I go to the hospital, and that's where I'm fighting with the fucking paramedics.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, so you were. I knew you were. Okay. But sorry, technically you didn't fight with them in the rave. You waited until you got to the
It
hospital.
was
and
the
cops
location that was the
Yeah, because they were like,
discrepancy.
"Oh, we want to, like, take blood and, like, put you under observation." I was like, "No, I'm good." I'm like, "I'm fine. I just wasn't going with the fucking cops." And then they're like, "No, I guess it's down." I'm like, "No, I'm getting the fuck out of here." And they're like trying to hold me down and shit. And they like bring security in.
Oh.
And then I'm just like, "Fuck it." I was like, "Hook me up." So they hooked me up with an IV and shit. Like, took my blood. I wasn't doing drugs at the time. I just had alcohol. And I barely had any alcohol left in my system at that point, too. Because I had pissed so many times and I was so dehydrated.
Right.
They were like, "Oh, yeah, it was like trace amounts of alcohol," they said, "and no drugs." And so, like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here." But I woke up feeling fucking great because I had an IV all the
Yeah, I
time.
know you were. You were like you had second wind because I was feeling like fucking death. Like those Wendy's fucking 2 for 2s or whatever. Like they helped a little, but not a lot.
And so, yeah, when I was leaving the hospital, like, "You got to sign this." I was like, "What's this?" They're like, "Oh, it's a release and so you're going to pay us." I'm like, "I'm not paying you for shit. I didn't need to go there.
Yeah.
Like, you guys made me come here against my will. I'm not paying for shit."
But he did say when we got in the car, we're like, "Where the fuck were you?" And he's telling us the story. He's like, "Oh yeah, I used your address for the fucking bill." Because he didn't want his parents to fucking see the bill.
Oh, they ended up finding out because they were, like, trying to collect in the debt. And,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
they called your parents.
Yeah, and my mom answered the phone. She's like, "Wait a minute." She's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "They didn't find anything in my system. Ask him." They're like, "Well, did you find anything in the system?" I'm like, "No." And so he said he didn't need to be there. You made him stay there. It sounds like you have the problem, not us.
Yeah.
And that was it. They canceled.
It's cool she had your back.
Yeah, so that was my first time driving. Oh yeah, the hill. Like I do remember. Like I just remember fucking him stopping in the middle of like a hill and like, "Dude, you got to drive." And I'm like, "What?"
Literally in the middle of a hill.
It was at the down,
The
the valley part.
Yeah, but dude, you got to drive. I can't see straight anymore. And then I'm just pissed. Like I mean, I kind of wish I was at the fucking wine and cheese party, but the frat kids did have a lot of weed.
Stoned. That's
Oh
good.
yeah, that was a fun time.
And you always seem to like, dude. If somebody put like 2 ounces of weed here and an unlimited lifetime supply of fucking booze here, and I had to pick one, and I didn't have weed, I would easily go with the weed.
See, I'd go with the booze, get scotch, sell the scotch, buy weed.
Yeah, but see, that's not part of the whole thing.
You just got to think outside the box, man.
That's it.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you had it, like, you prefer weed over any kind of drug or alcohol, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I do is weed.
Yeah.
I just do the weed.
What's your favorite drug you've ever done? Like, what's the drug that you can see if there was no shitty qualities about it, or the way you feel, or dying or ODing? What's one drug you would do the rest of your life like you do weed? Any?
No, just weed. Like, I've tried most things, but I fucking hate most things. I'm so over it.
Yeah. I don't know. I wish...
Chocolate?
I would... Ooh, chocolate.
I'm hooked on fucking chocolate.
Yeah,
Chocolate, it counts as a
chocolate
drug,
too.
doesn't it? I mean, it's got some caffeine and chocolate. I'd probably almost choose chocolate over weed.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
I might.
Whoa.
I'm fucking hooked on the shit.
Dude, let's talk about that.
I never see you eating chocolate.
I know.
I know.
I think he's
I don't
maybe
really
just
see you
like letting us
smoking.
know. Is this a cry for help?
The worst part is because I usually wait till before I go to sleep to eat chocolate, and I know better because it gives me the worst acid reflux if I eat chocolate before I sleep.
It's killing you, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Listen, and then like whoever decided like, hey, let's take these peanuts, let's crush them up into a creamy consistency. But wait, we're not done. Not only is this, let's add a little sugar. Okay, this is good. But wait, we're still not done. Let's add chocolate to it too.
Reese's Peanut Butter Cup?
That's my drug of choice,
Alright, that's your favorite chocolate?
without a doubt.
Mine is weird. Mine is a toss-up between Almond Joy and Heath Bars. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
like-
Those are my...
Heath Bars is that heavy shit. That's
Yeah.
like fucking mainlining chocolate.
Yeah, like
No, I feel like
No,
Heath
'cause-
Bars are... I feel
You gotta
Heath
take
Bars...
in little doses like the Laudeds.
yeah.
Well,
I
the
feel like
line
they-
will kill you fast.
Yeah, it's little Heath Bars.
Yeah, I know. And they just got that like crunchy consistency, and you get that like hard caramel like stuck in your molars and
Toffee,
shit.
dude. It's all about the
I
fucking
know.
toffee.
I'm just saying, like a fucking peanut butter cup. Like, I would if I had to choose between weed and peanut butter cups, I would choose fucking peanut butter cups.
Really?
Yeah.
A lifetime supply of peanut butter cups over a lifetime supply of weed, but the other one you cannot fucking do or have ever. You would literally go without weed for the rest of your life for peanut butter cups.
If that was the thing on the table.
I would do it with Kiss
Yeah.
and weed. I'd pick Kiss over weed all
Yeah.
day. Or music or weed, I'd pick music, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because music has the possibility of making me feel like weed does.
And see, like, musically
In a
over the
way.
last like 5 to 10 years, that's been like the soul of music has kind of been ripped away. Everything's just, it's not as organic and fulfilling anymore.
Yeah.
Really, like, the only band I found in the last, like, there was a point where, like, after I had retired from the band and stuff, which we've already well documented that path, whatever.
Right.
But I kind of stopped listening, other than, like, you know, some of the SoCal reggae shit that me and Vicky really got into. And when we first started dating, that was kind of like our thing, was, you know, the Slightly Stupids and Dirty Heads and whatever.
Right.
But the way I listened to music, like, it just wasn't the same anymore. And until the band Turnstile came around, and has actually, like, re-energized my... Because they kind of have that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that
They're,
feeling.
well, you know why? Because it's original.
And there's a lot of original shit out there, too, but it's like... I
No,
don't know,
but
the
I
soul
mean
and
for
the feeling isn't
something...
there.
Because when you're talking about specific genres, like let's say hardcore as a whole, like, yeah, especially when you get older, that's gonna, new bands coming out of that genre, it's so much, that genre is so specific that it has to be something special. Turnstile achieved that. And I
think
can't
just
think
them,
of a band that has achieved that since
and I think
Bang.
them, like, borrowing some different elements outside of the hardcore formula.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Like, it definitely had some... But, I mean...
It's still clearly hardcore at heart, though, that band.
And with... Like, when I was in that funk where I was just kind of, like, music, just the soul was gone, like... Aside from that SoCal reggae shit I was talking about, the only other thing I could really listen to was Sonic Youth. And it just so happened, like... There was a few years of, like, Sonic Youth released a bunch of shit that kind of flew under my radar, and I'm like, oh, I'll check it out later on. And then it was the perfect time, because, like, later on was that time, and then I could go back and listen to, like, Murray Street and Ghosts of New York City and fucking...
That's one band I am blank on.
I mean...
I know nothing. Do you like them?
Yeah, I saw them.
Yeah, a lot of people talk about Sonic Youth, and I know nothing about them.
Like, for some weird-ass reason, like, I was at, like... There was an album in the 90s, and it was alternative bands. They were doing covers of Carpenter songs.
Cool, yeah.
And Sonic Youth does the song Superstar, which is probably one of the most amazing fucking covers.
Yeah, that just got repressed on vinyl.
What's that?
That Carpenter's cover thing.
Did it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same exact one or if it's just, like, tracks from those that are put on there, but... Yeah, they just released.
And then their
it
song
on
for
Records
Karen, which Kim did, it was like for Karen Carpenter.
Cool.
But then I just like the last like week or two, because I always have to dip into some Sonic Youth when that's the only thing I can like consistently listen to and still get that feeling.
So where do I start with Sonic Youth?
Where do you start? I would, as a Sonic Youth fan, and this might be controversial to other Sonic Youth fans because they'll be like, oh, start with Daydream Nation, start with Goo. My favorite Sonic Youth album is Experimental Jet Set Trash and No Star, which came out in 1994. Yeah. And it flies under the radar with a lot of Sonic Youth fans. I'm in a lot of Sonic Youth like fan clubs and pages, and everybody kind of shits on that album a little bit. Definitely their best one. Then go to Washing Machine.
Okay.
Then go back to Daydream Nation or Goo, whichever. It's a choice. It's a toss-up. And then if you're feeling comfortable, you can go back to the earlier years like Kill Your Idols, Bad Moon Rising, Evil, Sister.
Okay. So
but
later opposed to
started Experimental Jet Set, and then Washing Machine, and then Daydream Nation is pretty much considered like their masterpiece album.
Okay.
But you can go to Goo before Daydream. Like your third choice is like pick your choice.
And we were talking about that, like, with like, because you have to bring up what we were talking about in the car.
Like, the very first...
band that I'm not that... Like, there's some bands I just miss the boat on, like Sonic Youth. There's some bands I try so hard to get into, and it's not for me. Like, but I'm so into all different kinds of music that I figured I could. So I think Sonic Youth is one of those bands I have to dive into. But I'm sure 5 or 6 songs I'm going to know when I hear them.
Yeah. That's why I say go with like... The very first fucking song on Experimental Jet Set is probably one of the only acoustic Sonic Youth songs there is. Winter's Blues. And it's fucking absolutely amazing. Then it goes... And I always like when I see songs that are singles or videos, and you can't really say much about Sonic Youth having singles because not too many people are going to know about them. I mean, The Diamond Sea is obviously an amazing song. And there is like a 22-minute version of it. But Bull in the Heather, which is the second song in Experimental Jet Set, is probably one of my like top 3 songs of all time.
So who are they most comparable to? Musically?
Sonic Youth.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
no, they're comparable to Sonic Youth.
Are there any other bands, like who's their contemporaries?
Themselves in the solo setting?
Yeah, like they are the influence to like
Nirvana,
shoeshine rock, like,
shoegaze,
or shoegaze.
Shoeshine rock is a whole new thing, and we need to be the first band of said genre.
I'm ready to start a shoeshine rock
band
right
pretty
now.
solid. But yeah, I mean, they started shoegaze really, like, was an off branch of that. I mean, they influenced Nirvana.
Yeah,
I mean,
that I knew.
Any sort of, I mean, there's. Especially that's why I say like start in the 90s years when they became more refined.
Okay.
When they were putting the actual songs together.
Were they more of a punk band in the early years then?
Punk,
I know
I mean,
more noise.
Punk is in the fact like an artsy, like if you look at punk like when the time they came out in the late 70s, early 80s, when punk was, stuff like Television and, Blondie and a lot of things you don't consider like Dave Ward spiky hair punk.
Right.
When it was more like noise, like CBGB's kind of thing.
Okay. Which
Like,
I
they're-
dig.
Like I said, their original shit, like their Kill Your Idols and Sonic Death, like their early 80s fucking shit, is just like noise.
All
and
over the
it's
place
like,
and, yeah.
you need to be like kind of how like Dave wouldn't be able to handle listening to the Boongadash and whatever the fuck he calls it. Ween, like it doesn't make sense to him.
Yeah.
Like the average listener, if you showed him like a Kill Your Idols or something, they'd be like, or Confusion is Sex, which I think was like their 82 or 83 album, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
And those are the albums that influenced Kurt and those early bands, right?
Yeah.
Or those mid '90s grunge bands.
Yeah, but I even up to like I said, Daydream Nation, which was like 88, 89, which has what the fuck is that song? I can't even think of the name of it now. I'm drawing a blank, and I'm not even stoned. Teenage Riot.
Okay, yeah, that song
Like-
I think I know.
Teenage Riot. That was like a moment for alternative music and grunge, like when they got on a major label and put that shit out. But yeah, it's mostly like at the beginning, because I think Thurston and even Lee, like there was noise people in the late 70s that were just doing noise, and they started with them, and then they kind of put it together and, you know, figured out how to compose noise and make it like weird tune-ins and make it fucking work.
So everything it just took James like 8 minutes to explain. I can explain it like this: when the emo kids in South Park want to like step away from the Cure and some of that kind of stuff and just like rock and roll, but do so in their way, they listen to Sonic Youth.
Oh, okay.
But not many, like, emo kids in real life don't really listen to Sonic Youth, though.
But I bet you a lot of
Probably
them
nowadays
and
they do.
Sunny Day Real Estate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, those kind of kids now, they reach for those bands from the 80s and 90s that are not as known. I think Sonic Youth is probably bigger now than they were 15 years ago.
They were big for like really big for like a year and a half in the 90s.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
were they like how long was their peak? And that's not that long.
And their peak
No.
wasn't even really that of a peak. I mean, it was
really
like...
wasn't.
But their name is huge. Everybody knows them.
They're one of them bands that people are going to name check without really knowing what the fuck. Like how Slayer was back in like the 90s when, you know, people wanted the Slayer fucking shirt to be cool.
Right.
They're kind of like the Velvet Underground. Like they're a musician's band.
Yeah. Or just...
They're an artist band.
So how come they never reached they're not heavy like the Melvins, but couldn't they be sort of lumped in with like the Pixies? I know you say that they're their own thing, but like the Pixies are all over the board musically.
They were
But it's
definitely
more-
influential to the Pixies. You can hear some Sonic Youth tendencies and, you
They
know, some
were
of Joey
Were
Santiago's.
they pre-Pixies though? Because Pixies were also a huge influence for Kurt.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, like I said, they started with their early 80, like 81, 82. But it was just like pure fucking noise and madness and feedback. And
I'm gonna
like,
have to dig into their catalog on my next 2 days off.
like I'll send you the links in the order that you should watch them.
Yeah, it's like
Like-
some high fuzz like college rock.
Cool, yeah, I'm into that, but it's not. Is it?
And like I said, like having those like mid 2000s to like early 2010s release before they kind of like called it quits. And the weird thing is like trying to listen to some of their solo shit, like some of it's a hard listen. So like
even later on, when they
especially
became more
like
refined?
Thurston, like some of Thurston's shits are a little bit harder. Lee's pretty accessible with his shit. But like anything from like 2003 to like 2014, all those releases, like they came in a good, like I said, I'll catch you later, and I'm glad I did because I filled that void when I just wasn't feeling music for a while,
Right.
and then I could go back and like still be re-energized with a old familiar face or sound.
Yeah, I'll definitely check them out.
I'll send you some
And
links.
then I'll say what I fucking think of them next week. We'll
Yeah.
talk about them.
Cool.
Let me know. Yeah, let me know the album. Let me know the albums to listen to, and
And I'm
start
fully
that.
expecting to get a Dave Ward fucking Ween reaction out of you, because I mean it's a little out of your genre a little bit.
Yeah, but that's the kind of stuff that intrigues me nowadays.
True.
Fucking, I'm telling you, if Ween would have came into my life at fucking 17 years old, I never ever would have gave it another chance. Never. Ween was random in my life when Bob showed me them, and then I was like, holy fuck. And to this now, literally in my top 5 favorite bands. Which, before this fucking episode ends, James was flabbergasted by an artist that wouldn't be in my top.
Oh yeah, this is like I said when we walked in. I'm like, we got a new controversy that we're probably be kicking around for a couple weeks now. So we're after my near-death experience. We're driving back. We get our coffees. We have our little pre-conversation to get ourselves juiced up and.
Did you get here properly juiced?
Properly juiced, not like not Jose Canseco juiced, but juiced enough. So at some point in our conversation, like we start talking about David Bowie, and Chris says David Bowie's not even in my top 100.
I did not say it like that. First of all,
and I'm like,
fuck David Bowie.
I didn't say you said fuck David Bowie. You were like. No. David Bowie's not in my top 100. No. And I'm like, so Puddle of Mud's fucking had a David Bowie in your thing? And he's like, maybe not so, but I do listen to more Puddle of Mud than I listen to David Bowie.
Fuck you.
But I don't listen to either that much. But, like, the thing with Bowie is, he was from a time period where my favorite bands came from, and I discovered him.
He was your favorite band's favorite band. What the fuck?
No.
First of all, David Bowie was in every time period in the history of man.
Right, that's wrong. Not true at all.
He's been hyper influential since the 60s.
Bowie did not influence either of the two artists that
bullshit. Bullshit.
Bowie, what do you mean? Hold on. Bowie came out at the same time as these two artists.
Kiss is a poor man's fucking Detroit fucking Ziggy Stardust.
That's not true.
Yeah.
He's a Skid Row's fucking Detroit.
Can you find out when the first Bowie album was released, please?
The first Bowie album?
Yeah. Not the fucking songs he released as a kid that are on some This is from 1945. No.
What are we, episode 17 right now? This is our first hate mail and our first thumbs down. Which, come on, people, like and fucking subscribe, goddammit.
I honestly
don't thumbs down this because Chris is shitting on David Bowie either.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't know one diehard David
Jordan
Bowie
Catalano 69 at yahoo.com. That's send our email.
And then they wonder why I sometimes make jokes with sexual references.
It's just a number.
David Bowie, released 1967.
The first record?
Yep.
Yeah, see, but Bowie...
When was Kiss's first record?
Well...
Yeah, come on, Chris.
Kiss's first album was 73 in January.
Yeah, so they had how many years to fucking listen to David Bowie?
Oh
really?
God,
No.
So many David Bowie albums by 73.
Their influence came from the Beatles, almost specifically. And as far as Alice Cooper being influenced by Bowie, his first album came out in 67.
Yeah.
So and he was like 18. So really,
yeah, we heard the song.
Bowie doesn't know, but Bowie, again, he doesn't hold a candle to like everyone talks about.
It doesn't matter how you finish that sentence. You're so full of shit.
I know.
You're so wrong.
To the shock value of what I was into. This isn't a.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Name what he. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? The shock value of David Bowie doesn't hold a candle.
To what?
To the craziness of what Alice Cooper was through his career? Absolutely
1972, a man dressing up like a woman, acting super effeminate.
The New York Dolls didn't do that in 69 and 70?
Oh my god.
Like the New York Dolls, the New York Dolls were a definite
that was
influence
after
to Kiss.
Hunky Dory. That was after Hunky Dory.
Okay, so
David Bowie had reached his...
The New York Dolls are influential to Kiss, but
Yes.
Bowie wasn't.
I know.
Because here's the thing. New York Dolls had Bowie. First of all, I understand Bowie was like the pioneer of glam, and that's fucking true. But
David Bowie is
also,
the pioneer
it wasn't
to
just Bowie.
Everything.
New York Dolls, T-Rex, MC5. There was a lot of bands that were also utilizing that fucking look and that fucking style. Everyone wants to go right to Bowie because it's the fucking cool thing to do.
You know,
it's not the cool.
With a lot of those guys too, right? And produced a ton of like bands that you're talking about.
He never produced Alice Cooper, Kiss, or the Dolls.
Okay, yes, you are.
So
correct.
what other bands? What other bands are we talking? He didn't produce the MC5. He didn't produce. What other bands from that era? Anyways, I just Bowie. I think is that person. Everyone's like, oh yeah. Can you name 10 Bowie songs off the top? 5 Bowie songs off the top of your head right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're looking at Google. Can
No,
you
no,
name?
not even.
Can you name 5 Bowie songs right now off the top of your head?
Let's
And
see,
this is no slight. It's just like Bowie isn't. Bowie sometimes, and trust me, when I was younger, I said the same thing. Yeah,
I don't
Bowie
see-
rules. I didn't know enough about Bowie to make that comment.
Man Who Sold the World, Ziggy Stardust, Genie, Black Star, Fame.
Okay, all right, I'm in.
I mean,
But
did he not do that?
Did you didn't even touch the 80s
I
yet.
know.
Let's
Did he do-
Dance,
and
Modern
what- I
I
I'll
Love.
tell
know.
you in
Did
the
he
car.
not? Did he not fucking do that song with John Lennon? Isn't that Fame? Wasn't like John Lennon on that track?
Oh, I don't know.
that wasn't that.
He produced Lou Reed albums. What's Iggy Pop?
Yeah.
I
Right.
actually like Fame. That's a great song. Fame.
Oh, good, great. Actually, like Fame. Wow.
No, I
Because it's the
also
one
like,
thing that's the one thing that's unattainable to you.
I also like. Look who's talking.
Listen, man, I'm the talent of this fucking show, and you just fucking sunk yourself with this Bowie shit.
No,
Now
How do you hate on Bowie and you haven't even listened to him?
top
Is
100.
it because he looks like
Okay,
a woman?
First of all,
Can you name 100
My
people?
favorite band
Hey.
is fucking 4 7-year-olds in makeup. What the fuck are you talking about?
The question is, can you name who is your 100 people better than fucking Bowie?
I didn't say better. I said on my personal top 100 list, I'm all over. I can literally I can name you 100 bands right now that I listen to.
Okay, start.
Dude, you want?
Yeah.
Dude, I would even put Let's Dance up.
I
against
know,
any
that's-
album
Do
that
you
he
want me to
has
start
say.
naming bands that I enjoy
I like
more than
them.
Bowie? Because I'll do it.
Yeah, well, that's like some of the best. I'm saying like even Let's Dance Bowie will crush anything by Kiss.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, probably musically, production-wise, absolutely.
Like, you got 2
I'm
days
not
off. Like,
debating
I
that.
need a I
Have
need
you
to
seen
see
him
your
shake
list.
his shoulders with Mick Jagger? I mean, that was fucking beautiful.
I love how all of Bob's defenses are something so ridiculous. Like, I know what you're doing. Look what he puts down in front of me that I've been using as a fucking bowl coaster is fucking.
The box, the double album.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Fuck Bruce Springsteen too.
Who do you like?
Whoa.
Who do you like better, Bowie or Springsteen?
Bowie.
So-
Springsteen has no like pizzazz about his shit. He's another one like Rod Stewart.
No
You go
pizzazz.
go
Wait.
see bands like U2
How
and
you putting
Springsteen
Rod-
because it's U2 and Springsteen.
How do you get like Springsteen and Rod Stewart in the same thing? That makes no sense to me.
I absolutely guarantee you half the people that go to see either one of those artists go to the other.
Dude, Bruce Springsteen's a fucking blue collar working class man from New Jersey. Like, what the fuck is Rod Stewart?
I
He's
see
got rooster hair.
Rod Stewart. I seen Rod Stewart. I don't like Rod Stewart either, but I seen Rod
What
Stewart.
the fuck is Rod Stewart? That's a great question.
No, you don't know the answer to
I
that.
don't. I don't
Google
know,
doesn't
man.
even know the
I
answer.
might have to look that one up on Google.
Alexa, what is the fuck is Rod Stewart?
But and real quick though, you gotta like, you know how much I love music and I try to.
I don't know anymore, man. You
I
just-
try-
I know. How can you talk like that about Bowie?
I try. No, I'm not.
I question.
talking-
Do you
hold
love
on.
music or
Oh.
you just love the fucking? What do you love?
I do feel Springsteen's extremely overrated. I don't feel Bowie is overrated. I just feel Bowie, for me, I'm talking about for me, it doesn't personally...
Why is is it because his fucking lightning bolt makeup wasn't as cool as fucking this half-ass fucking
No.
Queen's clown fucking
Actually,
makeup?
quite the
Oh, you
opposite.
like the makeup?
I actually.
He's like, the makeup's cool.
No, I actually, and I told you this on the way here. My music teacher in school, the Stones and Bowie is who I started learning about. I had already been obsessed and just introduced, but literally obsessed with Kiss and Alice Cooper at that time. Bowie's look in that book was so... I expected so much more from the music that was subsequently played.
What did you expect? Like, you expected...
I expected Alice Cooper and Kiss energy, and it ain't there in Bowie music. For
the
me,
energy or the fucking lyrics? Because, like,
lyrics didn't matter to me at fucking 6 and 7 years old. It just didn't. lyrics didn't matter to me at 6 and 7. I'm not talking about 14 or Reed's age or even Julie's age at fucking 12. I'm talking fucking 6 or 7 years old.
Okay, so
and that's why I wrote Bowie off early on until I
At
started.
6 or 7 years
Wait.
old, I'd be like, I'm an alligator. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'll listen to that shit.
Okay, so you're saying just
I'm telling you.
let's just think for a second here. The very beginning of Ziggy Stardust, that little riff, and then where he does that fucking little like wail that he does, that crushes any fucking thing Kiss or Alice Cooper has ever done.
From
that,
a musical standpoint, you're probably right, but that doesn't
No.
mean I have to.
I'm just saying,
Energy-wise.
energy-wise, like, can we get away with playing 3 seconds of that fucking song?
Probably not.
Yeah,
Fuck.
3
No,
seconds.
not David Bowie, man.
Yeah,
Dude,
fuck.
watch that documentary on Ziggy Stardust. It's pretty fucking
Oh
epic.
yeah, because isn't he
Like-
he was sort of. He sort of had like a weird relationship with his fans and shit. That I know.
Well, he just had
What
so
about-
much anxiety being up on stage that he created that character to like. help
What
him
about an
perform.
isolated vocal track?
I don't know. We might have to do that afterwards.
I'm gonna say this
Like-
again. Talent has nothing to do.
I'm just saying, no, you said energy. I'm just saying
Yes, the energy that I
that-
craved because of the 2 bands I already loved.
that first wail that he does in that fucking
Yeah.
song is more energy than Kiss's entire fucking career. With pyrotechnics, with fake blood,
I've heard
with
him
Gene
do
Simmons
backflips with
fucking
energy.
sexual conquest,
In your opinion.
with fucking Paul Stanley's fucking overdubbed vocals. Like,
Overdubbed starting at age 75, okay? Don't fucking sit here
I wish
and
it would have
make
started sooner.
First of all, again, I
Like-
totally disagree with you in this opinion-based conversation. But
Holy qualifier statement, Batman.
I absolutely disagree. Opinions are opinions, dude. It's not like you can't no. I don't feel the energy is the same at all. I do feel a lot of cool shit. A lot of he's accomplished and did a lot of cool shit. The 9 Inch Nails thing we talked about on the way over here. Thought it was cool as fuck that he tried going that route. I thought it was awesome that he goes on this tour with 9 Inch Nails.
man, I don't even fucking know you anymore.
I mean, we're talking
Like, I know,
about,
I'm just saying, like, you think that shit has better energy than Bowie?
Okay, but Garth Brooks, some Garth Brooks shit has better energy than Alice Cooper or Kiss. Does that mean I have to like Garth Brooks better, even though I do put Garth Brooks in my top 100 artists?
Dude, fuck you.
You guys put the Lemonheads in your top 100 artists. They have one
Yeah.
good song, actually 2 good songs, if you consider the 2 versions.
The only one he, like,
Style.
I like Style.
I
That was
know.
an amazing track.
I like both tracks. I like the Rick James version of Style too. The whatever they call it.
Dude, that is one of the
Dude.
most underrated artists of all time.
You're out of your fucking.
I mean, Evan Dando is a legend in 5 or 6 circles.
And their
first
other
of all.
biggest song was a cover of a massive hit. So
I
let's
don't
look
even-
at
I
that
don't even-
too.
And that's just for the mainstream.
Their biggest
Listen,
song
Evan
is
Dando
a
needed a
cover.
little extra scratch to get a little extra fucking heroin, so he had to fucking come up with a radio
He was
hit.
actually smart. He talked about how he put away $100,000 every month during his peak. That way he wouldn't spend it on cocaine, and that way he had money when the market turned.
Did you see the video where
That's
he
not-
lost his wallet at the fucking pharmacy and they found it?
Yeah.
So then he went there and fucking played an acoustic song for him.
Yeah, he's like playing for his dinner and shit in like Martha's Vineyard right now. That's like doing his thing. I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's fucking energy
He
right
looks
there.
like he's struggling in those videos
Look
we
at.
watch.
Have you seen it? Have you looked in the mirror? Have you looked at any of us? My face was twitching the other week.
Yeah. But we're not.
Yo, we could probably get Evan on as a guest out here. We just fucking make him some fucking Korean barbecue wings and
Yeah, he should definitely come out and hang.
get him a couple drinks, smoke a bowl or two.
I'm just saying, if you guys talk so much shit about the artists I like, I can fucking rag on someone like
Yeah.
Bowie and Springsteen and Evan.
No,
Dando.
you cross.
Plus, also, he hangs out with Liv Tyler a bunch
Oh.
and like records songs together, so that has
That-
James like a special place in his heart.
That
doing
adds-
shit.
What, with Evan Dando?
You didn't know that?
Oh, I knew that.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say. Yeah.
Does that add to his actual music ability that we're currently talking about?
That
Yeah,
just-
those songs are great songs.
They're
You
great.
kidding me?
Yeah, they're fucking great
Dude,
songs.
Paid to Smile is amazing. Just about how waitresses got to put up with bullshit.
And you, someone who works in the industry, you should
I
fucking know
Big
this.
Gay
So I'm
Heart.
supposed to like a
Big
song
Gay
because
Heart.
it's about the
You should
restaurant
fucking-
industry?
rest assured, Dawn Can't Decide. I mean, all fucking
Like
bangers.
yeah.
All bangers.
I have a lot of bands that I can fucking sit here and say how great their songs are. It doesn't
Rock
mean
and
that's
Stroll, Rudderless is like...
Yeah, you're the same person as like, oh, I went to this trap concert. I went and seen Smile Empty Soul.
With my girlfriend? Yeah, that's what you do. That's what you do when you have girlfriends. You gotta sometimes do shit for them and enjoy it, so that when they go and do something with you, they can ruin the whole night. That's how fucking life works.
Now,
I'm a straight male. That's how you have to deal with fucking...
Does your girlfriend go to Kiss shows with you? Or is she like, fuck you, like, I gotta wash my hair?
She went to the Seneca Niagara Casino Kiss show with me. Enjoyed it. She was drunk, but enjoyed it. And then completely ruined the last concert I ever went to from at this time in my life, which was Kiss at the Arena. We got in a stupid fight, and she wanted to go because I was bringing her daughter. She decided last minute.
You guys were fighting because she's like, I gotta go put up with this bullshit.
Maybe, but you know how much bull. I sat front row at Godsmack. I sat front row at Disturbed for her. I sat front row. Yeah, I think it's awesome that I do shit like that. I can hang, and at that Disturbed show, I actually enjoyed it. We were real close to the front, and I don't like their music at all. Never have, even when they were fucking hugely popular when I was a kid. And I enjoyed it. I can enjoy any concert. You put me in the
Wait, what band was that? Was that Disturbed?
That was Disturbed.
And you were just like, because you wanted that Barkins thing because it sounded like your cover band you were in?
No, it was just really weird seeing like how contrived like and set up stage shows are now. Like they had this piano that was on fire, but the whole time when they brought the piano
and you're
out,
like, Kiss did this in 1983.
No, you actually see like the fucking the things that light up like in the fucking it looking like a flame and what's gonna actually light on fire and how it's all like none of it seems like natural or you know what I mean. It's just everything is just exactly set up for that. So I like being close and being able to see shit like that. But music to me is all about if I enjoy it or not. And
which obviously you don't enjoy David Bowie. So
I
like,
didn't
what
say
the
I
fuck?
don't enjoy Bowie.
Yeah, you did a couple times.
No, I didn't. I said that Bowie is not on my list of either top 100 listened to artists or top 100 liked and loved artists, which there's a lot of them for me.
Okay.
Bowie's not on that list.
So when we were pulling out of the gas station after we got our coffees and we saw the bikers pull up and they were listening to Buck Cherry and we were kind of laughing about that.
They're listening to Buck Cherry. I go, James, they're listening to Buck Cherry.
Is Buck Cherry higher on your list than Bowie?
No, no. But no, Bowie would come a million times before fucking like Buck Cherry. No, I easily could have liked Buck Cherry because I do like bands just as shitty as Buck Cherry.
So what prevents you from liking them?
I don't know. There's bands that click with me and bands that don't.
They're kind of in your wheelhouse, like Cold Hearted Bitch. I love the cocaine.
They're not in my wheel. They're in my. Now we're talking about wheelhouses and things that I have in my life. A drug addiction and fucking a girlfriend that's a cold hard bitch. What do you want?
I wasn't saying your girlfriend was a cold hearted bitch. First of all,
man.
I wasn't going there. This is your man's like.
No, I'm trying to make a
Chris
funny.
isn't going to be allowed to come here next week.
This is all him.
I think Chris should come here.
It's because you're a little rebel.
Yeah, I did.
Good one.
I didn't say nothing about your drug. That's his biggest hit.
That's not his biggest hit.
Rebel's David Bowie's biggest hit. What's the bigger hit than Rebel?
Fucking Ziggy Stardust.
No.
There's so many other songs.
Can you hum Ziggy Stardust right now?
I could. I don't want to.
Rebel. I'm gonna look right now.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get blasted on a copyright.
Okay, let's settle this a little bit. I'm gonna look on.
Suffragette City.
You can hum songs.
Okay,
I can hum songs.
Suffragette City. Let me say this.
Yeah.
That would be in my top 100 favorite songs of all time.
Oh, good save.
No,
good save.
there's no save. That song is exactly what I love about Detroit influenced fucking music from the glam music from the 70s.
Wow.
No other songs sound like Suffragette City. That fucking guitar riff, the fucking piano in the background of that song. I love that song. I
don't buy it.
You don't.
I don't believe you.
All right. So, anyways,
okay. I love that song.
How's life on Mars, Chris?
It sucks badly.
Don't put our hate mail on our fucking like and subscribe page. Put it on our email address. Kitchen is closed. Next week we'll shit on Chris some more.
Normal. Bye.